Hi, how's it going? Right on. I'm just gonna rebuild these wheels, so check it out. I love this Part Tool grease gun. Like since I've started using it, I don't get nearly as grease monkey, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm just pulling the bearings out. Four. Give them a little wipe down. And I'm also going to be checking them for flat spots as I put them back in. I put the grease in first so that the grease is kind of like a glue. I can just drop these bearings in and they just kind of poke in there. I don't know if you can see it. I tried setting it up so you could kind of see it. Pretty easy. And to be honest, the grease works really good as kind of like a, I don't know, it holds it in place for long enough for you to get the cone and the axle down in there. Can you see it? It's pretty cool, huh? Right on. And the freshly cleaned axle. Down through there gently. Flip her on over. Sorry. Trying to get it still in a way that you can see what I'm doing. Now, did I use too much grease on the other side? Maybe a little bit. But to be honest with you, I'd way rather have too much grease in this situation than not enough. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about with that. Now, modern wheels come with these sealed bearings, and they're awesome and all, but you can't rebuild them. You have to just replace them. And they last for a long time, but truth be told, I'm of the opinion that a bearing and cone wheel hub is as smooth, if not smoother, than any sealed cartridge, with the possible exception of ceramic bearings. And I don't know enough about those to really be able to talk without being talking out my bum. No. That'll do. See if I can give you a view of it. Before I throw this cone down on it. This entire process really doesn't take very long either. To bust this entire wheel down, once I got the rust and stuff off of it, got it to break free, the entire wheel build, take apart and wheel build, is probably less than a half hour if you're like just doing that, like straight up, that's all you're working on. So it's not like a stupid long amount of time to work on this kind of stuff. Goes back together fairly quickly. Maybe. There we go. Tell you what though, like it is a great feeling when you get a hub back together and it goes back together and is just that buttery smooth, and like it's cool. It's like the wheel is brand new. I think one of the most challenging things to get absolutely perfect on these kinds of assemblies is how tight they are, how tight the bearings are in relation to everything. Oh yes, just like butter. Schmoof. Okay. Oh, there you are. Oh yeah, one of the things I didn't say that has happened on this is I only take the bolts off of the axle on one side. The other side, I leave the bolts exactly in place, and that's how I keep the configuration going back to the way it was before. I don't want it to change from the way it was before because it was centered already from the factory, and those guys did all that work. I don't need to redo it. I mean, redoing it's not that big of a deal. You can do it. It's not that big of a deal. But if you don't have to, why? You know, why would you want to do that? Ding ding, with the trolley. Ah, it's gonna be one of them. Get the right preload on the bearing. So preload on the bearing is correct. The lock nut can go in place. And back it off a touch. One more. Boom. Like new. Sweet. Right on. Thanks.